Is it possible that your expectations for marriage are rooted in and driven by aspects of relationship OCD? Well, today I want to get into 10 of them that may be infiltrating how you relate to the idea of dating, engagement, and marriage. So welcome to the Healing and Freedom Journey. Mark DeJesus here. I am your brother from another mother, bringing you insights along the way. I'm all about mental, emotional, and relationship health. And if you are too, you have arrived at a great place. So as I mentioned, I want to look at 10 of these, and relationship OCD is something I've written about. It is in my book, The Myth of the Perfect One. And if you battle OCD and you battle it specifically in the area of romantic relationship, this is a great resource for you, as well as the OCD healing journey. Great companions together that these two books can bring to your life and to your healing journey. And so what I want to bring out is a grounding and a recalibrating of our expectations, because there's a lot of expectations that we have. Some of them we've been taught, some of them are within Christian culture, some of them are just aspects of relationship journey that need unwinding and need reteaching and relearning. So let's get into these, because I want to help you in your own journey. These are distorted expectations. They come out of relationship OCD influences. The first one is at the top of the list. You intensely focus, and that word intensely is important. Focus on wanting the one God has for you. And it is something that is a common thing that Christians say. I want to go where God wants me to go, do what God wants me to do, I want to be obedient, all these things, right? And it can sound impressive for a Christian to believe this, to promote it, to say it. But there's two underlying pressures that can domino to distorted mindsets and practices. The one pressure underneath this is the one. I got to go find this one person out there. Creates automatically, that's a pressure. I got to find, it's got to be just right one. Two, God has. So now we put this very divine, intense pressure upon this. I don't want to miss this. I'm going to miss God. I'm going to be disobedient. So again, it leads into a lot of tangents that are not empowering to our healing and freedom journey or to the Christian life. It places this kind of mindset, places the decision on God. He's got this person. So what happens is the journey of you making a decision to love someone and to keep growing in loving someone gets placed, well, it's got to be the person God has for me. And Christians can hide behind this a lot. So down the road, if something goes wrong, something happens, the marriage goes sour, or whatever takes place that's negative, we can point back to, see, I married the wrong person, right? Now, there's good things like counsel that you can receive, and I encourage everyone when they're dating and getting married, get some relationship counsel, get some good feedback. And you may find along the way that pastoral counsel goes, I have some very, very sincere concerns, a counsel of people in your life that can give that feedback. But with relationship OCD, there's an emotional disturbance going on, even though from the outside and even those inside your life are saying, hey, this is a great thing that you guys are wanting to pursue, but you are constantly in these swirls because this thing drives a lot of your perspective. The second one, it ties into it, is you're seeking for a just right spouse. You have thoughts that say, don't settle for anything less than the best. If there are flaws, then you're settling. OCDers get highly triggered by the word settling because they feel like any decision they're making, if there's a flaw, then they're settling for less than the best. And you have a list of boxes that you start to get sucked into that all need to be checked off. You obsess about compatibility, making sure you're compatible, and your bent is inspecting what is wrong and areas that are not just right. You may even get feedback from people that know you and love you. Say, you're picky. You're a bit picky in how you do relationships. Number 3 is you compulsively check for what's called red flags. And it's understandable in relationship world. They say, here's some red flags, things to pay attention to. But an OCDer is highly prone to getting sucked into this. They get on high alert because they're flaw-focused. not growing in relationship focus. They're flaw focused. They're on high alert for anything that could signal something's off, that tells me I'm with the wrong person. So you can get sucked into a lot of podcasts and relationship advice and books that talk about red flags because you're always looking for them. Another one that's common in Christian circles because it's in the Bible, but OCDers take it and it gets really distorted. You compulsively worry about being unequally yoked. Now, as a Christian, you want to marry another Christian. You want to be on the same page spiritually. That's a journey you can take with counseling and encouragement and teaching. And that's a part of the journey. But with someone with ROCD, they can view any disturbance as, oh my goodness, we're unequally yoked. And so that becomes a microscopic growing list of areas that you're looking at, inspecting, and you're constantly disturbed by them. And even if you fix a disturbance over something, another one pops up. Here's where the central theme of ROCD comes into play. And that is number 5. You check your feelings about the other person all the time. You are constantly checking, how do I feel about this person? How do I feel about this person? How do I feel about this person? So you get tossed by your emotional ups and downs constantly. This reveals some distortions regarding your emotions and feelings. It also reveals some emotional and relational immaturity that needs development because it's really not about taking healthy steps forward in the relationship. It's about chasing your feelings because you're checking them all the time. And it becomes a compulsive analysis that takes place, a feedback loop that just keeps cycling. So number 6, what you look for is you want great feelings to arrive to you. That's an expectation. I fell in love. Oh, the person just walked into the room and I just felt. These feelings just came to me and arrived to me. That's a message that has been promoted for the longest time. And of course, it's a romantic way of saying, I just love you. When you walked into the room, I just knew. Or when I just have this feeling and I'm just so in love. The problem is that when you have those feelings arriving to you, quote unquote, then you constantly need them to arrive to you. And what it does is it takes away from you being someone who chooses to love, decides to love, keeps growing in love. Because remember, love is a decision. And while I'm not negating those romantic feelings you can have at the beginning, I'm not negating that. What I'm saying is that's not the sustaining work. But ROCDers, they're always responding to the feelings that show up. And in addition, when it comes to feelings, number 7 is they want to feel a certain way about the other person all the time. And if they don't, it becomes a high alert. It becomes a place of anxiety. If you don't feel this, then something is greatly wrong. So you're chasing anxiety, chasing anxiety, chasing anxiety. Commitment is the trigger. Anxiety kicks up. This disturbance, you can't land. You're chasing a feeling, but your expectation is you should feel a certain way all the time. And then you go look on your social media and go, oh, look at that wedding. They look so happy. I don't feel that way all the time. And again, our expectations are getting contaminated. Number 8 is you expect the other person to come from zero brokenness. And I mean this in 2 areas, what they come from in their family or maybe what they experienced in their journey. Is it great that someone comes from a good family? Of course. Is it great that someone has made healthy decisions in their life and their journey? Of course. But everyone comes from aspects of brokenness. Everyone has their flaws and mistakes and sins in their journey. So, but for the OCD or any time things start to come up, they start to get very, very disturbed. And there is an aspect of not knowing how to relate to flaws, sins, struggles, and brokenness that comes into play here. They don't know how to relate to that. Why? Because they don't even know how to relate to it in their own life. They're always running from their own weaknesses, they're in shame about their own disconnect to love. So they're looking outward, but while they're looking outward, they're checking for flaws. This is the world of perfectionism that's coming into play. So in reality, you want them to have a pristine past, and you want them to have a amazing family that they come from. And if they don't, is high levels of disturbance. And you can see flaws in their past or flaws in their history as just automatic disqualification or something you got to fix and get to the bottom of right away. I want to tell people that when it comes to the journey, the healing journey, and living mentally, emotionally, relationship health, it's not so much about where you come from, although it's important to recognize that. The greatest factor in relationship strength is two people who want to work on themselves, work on growing in love together, because that's what marriage does. It brings two people together on the basis of covenant and commitment. And now they choose to walk this healing journey together. And as things arise and as you learn and grow together, you find ways to work and grow on it. But the anxiousness of OCD doesn't allow that. It wants to keep you blocked from it. But that expectation's a important one to break through, because in your pain and brokenness, you can have some of the most powerful conversations, have the most connected moments of intimacy. But for many, it makes them very, very, very afraid. Number 9, you expect to have zero doubts and zero anxiety. So if you have any anxiety, that means something's wrong. If you have a doubt, that means something's wrong. This is a doubting disorder, and it triggers a lot of anxiety. And the potential of what the future looks like. With marriage, it heightens uncertainty, right? You don't know what the future holds, right? But you expect yourself to have a sense of absolute certainty about the future. I just know this person's the one, and I just know we're going to have a good future, because that's what you think other people are living in. Now, while they may communicate that, it gets really distorted for you in how you relate to your doubts. When doubt kicks up, doubt fuels anxiety. And as anxiety kicks up, you're starting to spin and spin and spin. And trust me, I lived in this for a while when it came to relationships. I had no idea how to deal with it. There was no words about OCD or even what that was. I just felt like I had this weird anxiety, very strange anxiety, had a lot of shame about it. And so I've had to learn a lot of these things the hard way, but I want to help in what I've learned, and what I've helped others in is realigning your expectations. Number 10 is you see problems, and oftentimes it could be any problem, or it could be a significant problem or an argument or an issue that's coming up. Boom, wrong relationship. Maybe I need to get out of this, because anxiety to you means something's wrong in the relationship. And we get fussed and focusing in on compatibility, when marriage is really more about two people that want to work on themselves and grow, and what love means together. And even that scenario I'm just giving you can make our OCDers go, oh, I don't even know if we're doing that. And they spin out and spin out and spin out. If you relate to the expectations I shared with you here today, I want you to get a copy of The Myth of the Perfect One. This is a very transparent and honest sharing of my journey through this. I shared with you stories and decisions I had to make, because I had to make a decision that I wanted to live healthy. I wanted to be married, and I wanted to have a family. But these obstacles of obsessive compulsiveness were seeking to really get in the way and hamper my journey from being able to experience the things that I desired. But it's going to take some work in your life and your journey. So be sure to get a copy of this book. Was this video a help to your life and to your journey? Please let me know. You can go over to markdejesus.com and you can find out more about my materials and resources. You can also click the link button. You can click the like button and click subscribe. That helps us out a whole lot in the algorithm. You can also support these videos by going to markdejesus.com and clicking on the donate button. That helps us out a whole lot as well too. I'm also going to be teaching on the myth of the perfect one in the healing and freedom community. So if you'd like some support and help in that, I'm going to be teaching on that. There's going to be course material available, Q&As, and all kinds of great resources to help you along the way. You can find out about that by going to the community button on my website, markdejesus.com /community. You can do that as well too. Type that in the URL and it will get you there. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. This is your brother from another mother saying, I'll be back with more insights for your healing and freedom journey. But in the meantime, I'm out.